Hey everyone, back again with another What Sold video, this time for July. The beginning of July for me was pretty exciting. That's where most of my profits came from, and towards the end, it was kind of a dud, partially because I did not post a lot, but that is okay. So with that, let's jump right in. So this was the first sale of the month for me. This sold on July 1st for $25. My order earnings was $20. My cost of goods was $2, and my net profit was $18. This one, I believe I got at the Goodwill bins in Hawaii. So this means that it was probably sitting here for a few months, and it also means that I posted it right in the middle of winter. So makes sense why it did not sell. This one I just bought because certain things in Abercrombie and Fitch can do pretty well. And also it was linen, and we're coming into spring, summer. So that's why I thought I'd take a chance of it on it. Happy with the sale, happy with the net profit at $18. But yeah, it did sit a little bit longer, but it makes sense because of the seasonality. This one also was a seasonality one. I posted it, I believe, in the middle of winter. This one sold on July 1st. This is a rhythm swimsuit. And so this one sold for $30. My order earnings was $24. My cost of goods was $7. This was at a regular Goodwill in Hawaii. And so my net profit was $17, which also was a pretty good profit as well. Was also new with tags, which is part of why I got it, because you could see here the retail value is pretty good, or pretty high. And so I took a chance on this one. I hadn't really seen this brand before, but after I picked this up, then I noticed it at some of the local surf shops. And so, yeah, anyway, one piece I think do pretty well in the summer. Now we're getting out of summer, so probably won't do as well here coming up into fall and winter. But yeah, pretty happy with this sale. Okay, this one is a White House Black Market halter top. It sold on July 3rd for $14. Order earnings was $11.05. This was actually mine, and I don't even remember where I got it from or anything, but the cost of goods was $0 since it was mine, and so the net profit was $11.05. This one actually someone bought, I believe, on eBay and returned it, but this time around, Poshmark, you can't return it, and I also already got a 5-star review on this one, so happy that it went. And I think it was actually higher profit than what I initially sold it at on eBay. So, and this was sitting for a long time, so wouldn't necessarily recommend it. This sale, not super exciting either. This one is a Columbia plaid flannel pants. It's just a pajama pants. This was part of, if you've been following along, my friend gave me a bag of clothes to sell. You'll see a couple other things in this in this month that sold from that, but nothing really high value, nothing that I would necessarily recommend you go out and source, but it did sell. This one sold on July 3rd for $8. My order earnings was $5.05. I give her 40% for anything under $25, so she got $2.02. And so my net profit was $3.03. This one was, I was very excited about this sale. I listed it a little bit higher, but I think I got an offer for the $50 here. This one sold on July 5th for $50. My order earnings was $40. My cost of goods was $10, which I got at a yard sale relatively recently. And so my net profit was $30. This sold overnight. I probably could have held out and got a little bit more money for it, but happy with the $30 flip overnight. It was, yeah, I saw this one and another Coach purse that I'll show you later this month because that one sold pretty quickly as well. And I got them both for $20 total at a yard sale. And yeah, very, very quick flip. I think the more older leather Coach purses can do pretty well. Some of the outlet ones and the non-leather ones may not do as well. But the two that I bought and posted this month did very well. And I think I probably could have got more if I wanted to. But yeah, very, very happy with this sale. So this one I got at in Ohio at one of those like consignment stores where people can buy little booths and post or like put their items in there and then have it sold. This is a Maeve Anthropology Oksana skirt. It sold on July 5th for $27. My order earnings was $21.60. My cost of goods was $8. And so my net profit was $13.60. It wasn't like the highest profit, but I was glad because this one sold relatively quickly too. I actually thought about keeping it for myself. I thought it was pretty cute. But I decided to sell it and I'm happy with how quickly it sold. I believe this one also had an offer. But yeah, I've also sold one of these Maeve shorts before, and that one sold pretty well too. I don't know if that's just that line of Anthropology or what, but happy with the sale. I wish I could have got the skirt for cheaper, but at the consignment store, that's what they were selling it for. And I am glad I picked it up because I think that was a pretty good flip. And I got a 5-star review already. And another thing to note is I have been selling much more on Poshmark, which is kind of unusual. At first, it was just the first few months. But now I feel like it's kind of a trend. And I don't know if it's because I have the bot that sends out the automatic offers or if I'm pricing higher. And so that's why Poshmark's doing more rather than eBay. I'm not sure. But for the full year, I actually have sold more on Poshmark than eBay. I think this might be the month that it got overshot. And so very interesting. But anyway, so, and I'm sorry if you can hear the background noise. That is my puppy walking around and drinking water. But hopefully it's not bothering with the audio too much. But so this one was also kind of an exciting sale. This is a Calvin Klein dress. It sold on July 5th for $25. My order earnings was $18.94. My cost of goods was rounded up to $4, and so my net profit was $14.94. This one I got at the Goodwill bins here in Virginia, and yeah, I've sold, I want to say maybe like 2 other Calvin Klein dresses, and they weren't sleeveless. They actually had like a cap sleeve, and they sold pretty quickly, and they were a little bit like bigger size, but I was surprised because so far they have been selling more than quicker than I expect. And it's not like for a ton of money, but it's still, I mean, $25. And then if you get it at the bins with a low cost of goods, that's a pretty good flip. So definitely, I mean, this one sold in less than a month. So I would maybe keep a lookout. It has kind of a scuba feel to it of the material. And so that's kind of what these dresses like. They're a little bit heavier than just regular cotton. So yeah, so polyester and spandex. So, but anyway, I've found that some of these in bigger sizes sell for me. So I don't know, something you might want to consider if you come across it. It's not one that Calvin Klein isn't a brand that I think like, oh, let me get everything. But when I do see some of these dresses in bigger sizes, I do pick them up. This next sale was a Austin FC Kids soccer jersey. I bought this at the Goodwill bins as well. So this was for very little money. So this one sold on July 6th for $22. My order earnings was $17.60. My cost of goods was rounded up to $1. And so my net profit was $16.60. And this one sold, I believe, less than a month. It was relatively quickly that this one sold. It could have helped that the World Cup was going on. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, the person messaged me. I wanted it shipped out quick. And so, yeah, we got it. And I don't know which jerseys sell well, but I was glad that this one did. I wasn't sure how it would do since it was a kid's, but I was pretty surprised at how well it did sell, how quickly, and for how much. I would do it again. Okay, so this was my next sale. It's a vintage international collection McGregor, made by McGregor leather suede suit. I don't really know anything about this, just that it was real leather and it was made in Argentina. And so I thought this would be a good chance. This one actually my husband found at a thrift store over a year ago. So this has been sitting for quite a while. So I don't know that I would necessarily buy it again. I don't even remember exactly how much I spent on this. So I estimated it at $7. I could have paid more. I could have paid less. I'm not entirely sure. I want to say I think it was on sale, um, just because I believe it was when it was going out of winter one year, and so I decided to give it a shot. It did sell for $30. So my order earnings was $24. Cost of goods was $7. So my net profit was $17 based off of the estimate of how much I paid for it. But yeah, I know some of the leather jackets can do pretty good. I think this one just, I don't know if there was just too many flaws or what. I don't know that I would necessarily buy this one again. But yeah, it didn't sell for like that much, but still, glad to at least get it moving. This one sold on July 8th. It's a Wild Fable like smocked summer dress. I bought this at a yard sale probably almost a year ago, if not just shy of a year ago. I thought it would do well because of this right here, this smocked area. But I think that's pretty trendy. But I think what it was is that it's sleeveless. These spaghetti straps are not super in, and also that it was short. Is It was a mini dress, as opposed to like a midi or a maxi. I think it would have done better. I did buy it because of that, and also that it was part linen. It had a little bit of linen in there, like 20%. But obviously it sat for about a year, and it didn't sell for too much. So this particular dress I wouldn't have bought again. It sold for $15. My order earnings was $12. I got it for $1 at a yard sale, which really isn't that high of cost of goods, so that's okay. But my net profit was $11 for like a year later. I did get a 5-star review, so that was great. But yes, probably wouldn't have gotten it again. I think it would have had to have more like either longer or maybe like sleeves or something like that. Um, anyway, this next one is a Vuori rib crop tank. This one was kind of interesting in that I paid up for it. This one I got at a Plato's Closet. I think I sold, yeah, last month I sold a Lululemon pants that I got from a Plato's Closet. I had some store credit from selling to them a while ago, and so I just wanted to use it. And so I used that to get this one and the Lululemon pants. So this one sold on July 10th. This one sold maybe within a month or so. Not as quick as I expected it to, because the Vuori I think generally sells pretty quickly. So not as quick, but it still was not super long either. So it sold on July 10th for $20. My order earnings was $16, and my cost of goods was $8 because I got it at the Plato's Closet. So my net profit was $8. Would I do it again? I'm not entirely sure. If it was at the bins, definitely anything at the bins with Vuori, I would get in a heartbeat. To pay up for it, I would just be careful as to what you have, um, just because some of them will sell more than others. I know my sister had sold a men's shirt, and I had paid up for that one to get it for her. And so the profit margin wasn't there as much. She still profited. It just wasn't like a big one. So it just kind of depends, but Vuori generally is, I'm sure you've heard, is a very good uh, athleisure brand. So this is a new tag Free People Movement shorts. This one actually had a stain in it, and I got it out with some alcohol. I have a short on that in my YouTube channel, but this one sold on July 11th for $10. So my net profit was $7.05. I got it for $3 on Whatnot. And so my net profit is $4.05. I have not gone on Whatnot in a long time, but I've seen some people source from Whatnot. I think it can be a little more difficult, but I've tried to choose smaller sellers so there's less competition to bid on items. I've talked about it a little bit on some of my other What Sold videos in the past, if you wanted to see, and I have a link that you could get some money if you use the link. I think it ranges just like randomly from like, I don't know, $5 or $10 to like, I don't know, 50 or something. If you use it, then I'll also get money back. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. I don't know when I will try again. I tried a couple times and I have sold a few things generally at a profit, just maybe not as high of a profit. But yeah, so this one it retails at 30, but I think it was I'm not sure exactly, but it didn't sell too well. So I don't know that I would buy this again unless maybe it was at the bins and I would buy this one. Um, so this one is a Free People skirt that sold on July 13th for $20. My order earnings was $16. My cost of goods was $5. I got this at like a convention yard sale type of thing. It was like in a like convention center with lots of booths that people were just selling things, just all sorts of things. And so yeah, this one was $5. It was new with tags. Um, Retailed at $78, but I couldn't get close to that amount. I think I'm not entirely sure, but I think maybe it's just out of style. Sold it as a I sold it as a as seen on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives by Jesse Draper. Um, and so it's not the exact same, but it's very similar to this of what she wore. And yeah, I expected to get more than that, but it's okay. I'm just happy to see it sold because this one I think I got in like fall of last year. So probably about half to three-quarters of a year it's been sitting there. So I'm happy it's sold. And I believe I got a 5-star review on this one too. So I'm happy for that as well. So this is the start of my not so good sales, but this is like incense sticks that my friend gave me in that bag of things that she didn't want. I just posted it just to post it. I'm surprised that it sold, but as I keep doing eBay and Poshmark, I get less and less surprised at what sells. This sat here for like half a year. I sold it on July 18th for $4.37. My order earnings was $2.53. I gave my friend $1.01, and my net profit was $1.52. So nothing really to note here, just that people will buy almost anything on eBay. This is the other Coach bag that I was talking about. So this was at the yard sale that I got for $10. This one I priced higher because of how quickly the last one sold. Um, so I had this one pretty high. So this one sat, but only for like 2 weeks. It sold in about 2 weeks. It sold on July 21st for $40. Order earnings was $32. Cost of goods was $10, and so my net profit was $22. This one I actually got an offer again, and I decided to accept it because $22 net profit is pretty good for me. I could have waited. I probably could have got more, but I am okay with that flip. Between this Coach purse and the last Coach purse, I made profit on the entire everything I bought from that one yard sale, and I got lots of blazers and lots of new tag dresses. And so I haven't actually posted all of them yet because I'm trying to figure out which ones I'm going to keep for myself. But this paid for everything and within less than a month. So this is great sale. Um, yeah, so that was exciting. Um, yeah, so I kind of keep an eye on like true leather Coach bags. This one was kind of interesting. It was a loss for me, but I could have held out and I could have probably got more. But so this one I got in Hawaii. My friend is a Miffy fan, and so we went to like exclusive collaboration with Kira and Miffy. I'm not even sure if I'm saying all that right, but So I think one of the BTS guys somehow linked to Miffy. I'm not sure. So I thought I'd give this a shot. I had mentioned there was another tote I had in another What Sold video that it was just kind of a reusable tote. Um, and so this one, I think I bought for $50, so I lost $10 on this. So if I hadn't lost $10 on this, my total monthly profit would have been very similar, if not the same, to my June earnings. But this one brought me down a little bit because I lost $10. Um, I probably could have sat on it, but I was sitting on it for a while already. I think I got it in like January or March. And $50 to sink into one item is a lot of money. And I thought, it's been sitting there a while. This person probably really wants it. I'll take the hit for it so I can get $40 back right now. And I accepted the loss. It reminds me of the stock market where you sell your stocks at a loss. That's basically what I did, but I was trying to just get some money back quickly. And I did get a 5-star review on it today, actually. And so, um, I maybe would have waited to see if I could have sold it for a little more. But that's okay. That's okay. You live and you learn. So this one ended up selling for $50. My order earnings was $40. I paid $50 for it, so my net loss was $10. I made some money off of the reusable tote that I said I sold the other month. So I probably zeroed out or broke even from this shopping trip. So this one was also part of the bag that my friend gave to me, just some brand new bee bombs, another example of just what will sell on eBay and if anything. This is my second like lip balm that I've sold on eBay. This one sold on uh July 22nd for $4. My order earnings was $1.05. My cost of goods I gave my friend was 42 cents, so my net profit was 63 cents. And the last sale of the month, again, not super exciting. This was my jacket from Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix. This one sold on July 27th. It's an Eden Society jacket for $10. My order earnings was $6.79, and that was my net profit. Nothing too exciting to note here. It took a year to sell. You could see I posted it in 2025, and that's if I didn't relist it, so it may have even sat longer. I'm not sure. But anyway, so that is all I have for July. So with everything that I just went over, my total net profit was $196.21. So like I said, if I had not accepted that offer at a loss, the Miffy one, that would have put me at about $206, which is on par with what I sold in June. I am still hoping to, and I say this every month, but I'm hoping to increase my postings so that I can try and get closer to that $300 to $400 profit like I was making probably last December, January, if I remember correctly. But we will see. And also, summer slowdown is coming to an end, so hopefully that will help sales for everybody. But yeah, with that, thanks for getting this far. If you have watched it, please subscribe if you found it helpful, and if not, that's all right as well. In the future, my sister has shared with me her spreadsheet, and so I'm thinking about maybe making videos with her numbers and her sales. I'm not sure. I haven't like dissected it too much, and I don't know a lot of where she sources from. Actually, that's not true. She does a little bit more arbitrage than me and not as much thrifting. So that might be interesting to dig into. I also bought some things from Packed on sale, and I've only posted one thing so far. So I'm going to post the rest hopefully this month, and I will see what the results are for that. So that way you guys can see what the results are of that, if it's worth looking at or not. But yeah, with that, I think that'll wrap it up. And until next time, bye.